YouTube is good. My cats were in here playing earlier, so everything's a little bit off. Say thanks, cats. Just a smidge. Looks good. You staying or going?
Easy's gate going.
In or out? You gonna hang out? You know. Alright, so emergency last week is handled. It was pretty, but everything's good, so here we are. And like I was talking, sorry, YouTube, hopefully I'm getting seasick. Good. All right. We were talking last week about getting back into routines and things like that. And this is life, right? Like all of a sudden something pops up that screwed all up. So I did get my practice started again this week. We will get that 5-day challenge in the works in the next few weeks, something like that. In the meantime, just, life happens, right? So I'm going to try and do the practice I intended for last week this week because I think it's fun. Stretching out the quads a little bit more than I normally do. We're all about folding forward, but these are important to stretch as well. So we're going to start in hero's pose or Virasana or whatever you want to call it. If it is not for you, don't panic. If it's not great, but it's not bad, right? You know the difference. Pain is bad. Discomfort, you just have to live with sometimes, right? Prop up with a block, right? So between the feet there, so you can rest your bum on it. And again, if this is not doable for your knees or your hips or whatever it might be, a lot of people feel this in the tops of their feet as well. So again, if it's not doable, it's not doable. You just come to your seat and move on when we start moving on. So listening to your body always, right? If we're here longer than you need to be or than you want to be, then that's fine as well. Come out when you need to come out. It's going to be a little noisy. My neighbors are doing something strange. Whatever. Sorry. So make this comfortable, right? Whatever that looks like for you. Making sure that you're upright on your pelvis. However, whatever that looks like. Lifting the pelvic floor, same thing, regardless of where the body is, right? Lifting the pelvic floor, the lower belly's in and up, and we're tall through the sides. So engaged through this torso area. Relaxing into your hips, your shoulders, closing your eyes. Bringing your head in line, bottom tips of the ears back just enough. And then sitting and just being here for a moment. Taking time to just sort of transition away from the busyness of the day to the peaceful ease, maybe-ish, of your yoga mat. Brain always kind of thing here. Breathing all through the nose. Allow the breath to expand slowly. Let's really work with it for a moment. So allowing the breath to get really, really big. Like you would never just breathe like this normally, right? Huge inhales, gigantic exhales, and really slow it down. So take forever to fill up and forever to get empty. Take just a couple more breaths like that. Big, enormous, super slow breath. And allow yourself to find that yoga breath. So just beyond the normal breath, nothing like this big, gigantic, slow thing, other than the fact that it's breathing. And then remember to make that your priority in your poses. Extending the arms out to the sides with an inhale, let's stretch them up to the ceiling. And then exhaling, bring them back down again. Doing that again. And then once more like that. Staying here if you can, otherwise coming down to your bottom. Taking the right hand over toward the left knee, left hand behind the body, giving yourself just an easy little twist. Sitting really tall. Let's release that, coming back to the center. Take the second side, same idea. Nice and gentle. And then bringing it back to center again. Using the floor here, or maybe just your body if you're on your bottom. Taking the right hand back to the left knee, again-ish. That left hand to the floor behind you. Okay? So sitting up nice and tall. And if you're on your bottom, you can press into that left hand to sit a little taller, right? Otherwise, sometimes just touching the floor back there is a big deal. So using the right hand to sort of pull the belly button to the left. Pressing into the floor behind you, either to sit up a little taller or kind of pulling against it a little bit to draw your body around it with a twist a little deeper. See the idea? Yeah. So the twist is a little bit bigger. It's still not necessarily enormous. Don't worry about that yet. Or ever, really. We're going to release that coming back through the center, taking the second side, same idea. So deepening the twist, using the body, using the floor. Still early, so. And then just releasing that back to center again. If you are still up in hero's pose here, just moving and making your way to on your bottom. So we're going to start with the legs extended out nice and long. Again, making sure that you still feel upright on your pelvis. Sometimes even if you were on your butt before, moving the legs changes that. So sitting nice and tall here. The hands can stay back by the hips. We're simply going to hinge forward. If you like to lift your arms and extend them, that's great. But remember not to reach for your toes. You don't want to collapse the chest and round the upper back. And it is the first fold, so just take your time with it. Just find where the stretch is. See if you can gently move into it. If not yet, don't panic about it. Nice big breaths here. Let's take one more breath in our fold. With the next inhale, we're coming back up to center. And then exhale, release your arms if you extended them. And we're going to come around onto hands and knees. So taking your time getting here, wrists under shoulders-ish. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Even out the weight on the hands. We're not dumping into the wrist. And knees under hips. Spine neutral. On an inhale here, we're going to drop the belly toward the floor. With the exhale, round the spine toward the ceiling. And then just follow the breath in and out of those two poses. Take one more flow like that, in and out. And then move back to the neutral spine. So the belly's in, shoulders are still neutral on the back. We're going to extend the right leg straight back, pressing through the heel. Hips are square, so try not to hike your right hip up. And then from there, stretch the left arm forward and actively reach away from the body. Pressing through the heels, stretching through those fingertips. Nice full breath. And then release that side. Switching to the second side, left leg, pressing through the heel here and extending the right fingertips forward. Take your time, use your balance, breathe. And then release it. We're going back to that first side. I'm going to turn here. So go ahead and extend your right leg back again and the left arm forward. Taking the arm over to the left, bring the leg round to the right. Reach away from the body here. Try not to shift your hips a whole bunch to make this happen. If you can't lift the right leg very high, don't worry about it. Just trying to keep the torso pretty much where it was before, mostly. Release the hand back to the floor. Take the toes over to the side over here and come on up on this left knee. As always, if you need to cushion your knees, please do. Lifting the left arm up, we're going to take it over, reaching down toward this ankle-ish. But keeping the body in line here so we're not reaching forward just to reach the ankle, yeah? One more big breath. With the inhale, come on back up to center. Release the hands. Lift the leg, take it back, and then down. So let's go second side. Left leg, right arm. Take your time, find your balance. When you're ready, take the arm right and the leg left. Bring the hand back to the floor, take the toes over to the side, and come on up underneath. Reaching the right arm up, take it over. Another big breath here. And then back up to the top on the inhale. Release the hands. Lifting the leg. Take it back. And then down again. One more here on the hands and knees. Extending the right leg again. This time bending the knee. And then here you gotta lean just enough to pick the right hand up. See if your right hand can find your right foot, ankle, whatever, once you found your balance, see if you can square your hips up again. More anyway. You can kick the foot into the hand, lift the toes a little higher. And just working with your balance, finding the stretch. And then gently releasing that, extend the leg long, bring it down. And go to the second side. So left leg, bending when you're ready, leaning just enough to lift the left hand, and then maybe find your foot. Squaring the hips, take your time. And then we'll gently release that side. Back to that, all fours. And then go ahead and take it down into a child's pose. As always, just make this first child's pose really, really comfortable. So prop if you want to prop. Take your hands back if that's better. And then we're going to begin to make our way to down dog. So stretch the arms out nice and long. Reground the four corners of your hands. And we're going to lift the knees and the hips. As always with this first one, just let yourself kind of wiggle into it. Right? Bicycle your heels, maybe shift through your hips, your shoulders. And begin to settle in. So pressing down into the floor with your hands. Pressing the chest back toward the thighs, head hangs between the shoulders-ish. We want to sink through the heels. Try not to hyperextend the knees. Don't worry about walking or having your heels on the floor. A lot of times we get really excited about that, so we bring our feet a little too close just so the heels can touch. Ideally, the feet and hands should be far enough apart to transition from plank to down dog without a whole lot of wiggling around. Right? So it is what it is. Just give yourself a nice stretch here. And then we're going to lift the right leg. Press through both heels. See if you can feel that little extra stretch it gives, especially the left leg. And then we'll step the right foot forward and come to a lunge. Drop the back knee. Wiggle your toes up so that the knee is over the ankle here. You can wiggle around into the hips a little bit, shifting back and forth. Finding your center, and then imagine pulling the legs toward each other. We're going to take the right leg straight or straighter. If you've got your block still, you can prop up on the block or your shin or thigh, whatever you need here. Keeping the shoulders back. And then bending back into the knee, sinking low into the hips. Keeping the left hand where it is, we're going to bring the right hand to the hip and rotate around for a twist. And then releasing the twist, go ahead and take your right leg straight again. Maybe the fold is a little deeper this time. Maybe not. And then bend back into the knee again. Low into the hips. Keep the hips low, but climb up on the thigh here, lifting the upper body. coming a bit more vertical. Keep sinking, but extending the crown of the head to the ceiling. You can hang onto the thigh, you can extend the arms, you can take your fingers behind your back to interlace back there, adding what your body wants from you right at this moment. We're going to gently release that. Go ahead and lift the back knee. Step back, down dog. And we're going to move to the second side. So start by simply lifting the left leg. And again, just extend through your heels. From here, stepping the left foot forward. Coming to lunge. Go ahead and drop the back knee, adjust your left foot. We go around into your hips a little bit over here. Sweeping the legs toward each other then, coming into this kind of evenness. Take the left leg straight. Fish. We'll bend back into the knee. Keeping the hips nice and low and square here. Bring the left hand to the hip, and let's rotate around here. Release the twist, and take the left leg straightish again. One more time, bend back into the knee. Sink low, lifting the upper body. And then again, adding arms in whatever variation sounds good here. Let's release what we got. Lifting the back knee and stepping back to right on dog. We're going to lift the right leg again. This time, go ahead and lift the hip. Open it up, bending the knee, pointing it toward the ceiling-ish. Keeping the chest level to the floor as much as you can. And then let's release that side. And we'll switch, lifting the left leg. Let the hip open and bend at the knee here. Again, try and keep your shoulders and chest level to the floor. Just the hip opening. Take the legs straight, square the hips, release the toes. And we're going to step the right foot forward again. From here, walk the hands around into the center of a straddle. Toes point forward, opening the feet wider or more narrow, or narrowing them, wherever your body needs to be. And then just let yourself kind of hang out here. Okay? A little bend in the knee if you feel like you need it. If they're not already, go ahead and bend the knees enough so that you can take your index and middle fingers and wrap them around your big toes. Four corners of the feet on the floor. We're going to bend the elbows out to the sides, maybe a little pull against the toes to draw yourself into this deeper fold. Listen to your body. When it's enough, it's enough. Let's go ahead and release the toes. Take the fingers to interlace behind the lower back, pulling the shoulder blades together on your back. Extend the fingertips away from your knuckles really, away from your shoulders, lifting the hands away from the lower back. If that's you, try not to hyperextend at the elbow. Keep just a tiny bend there. And then let's release the hands. So from here, we're going to take the hands and walk them forward. Let your hips come low, lower than you would even in plank. Drop them. And then let's walk it back again into the straddle. We'll do it again. Come forward. Drop the hips. And then go back. One more time like that, forward. And then back again. Instead of having the toes point forward here, go ahead and turn your toes onto the corners of it. You may have to adjust them as we go, and we'll see. With an exhale, bend into the right knee. Let your hips kind of slide over there. And then inhale back to the middle and exhale over to the left. All right, so when we bend the knee, we want to watch that the knee stays over the ankle and points in the same direction as the toes. If you find that the knee is falling in, turn your toes in or maybe shorten up your stance a little bit. Let's go once more on each side. And when you're back to center, let's go ahead and turn the toes toward the top of the mat and lunge here. So we're going to stay up in this lunge with the back knee up off the floor. If you need to have it on the mat, go ahead and take it down. The idea of sweeping the feet toward each other, keep that, and then climb up on the thigh again here. So keeping that back leg straight if the knee is not on the floor. Keeping the upper body as upright as you can. Hang on for dear life if you need, of course. Or take the arms wherever you want to take the arms. Extended, interlaced, cactus arms on your hips, whatever makes you feel like that's where you want to be. Release what you got. Take your hands back to the floor. And then we're going to make our way to warrior three. So if you can just lift this back foot up off the floor, great. If you want to hop it in a little bit first, go ahead. So we want to keep the hips level to the floor, right? Or level, I guess I should say, right? Extending through that left heel, just like when we're on hands and knees. Hands can stay on the floor if they need, or maybe climb up to the thigh, fly, wherever. Then take that left hand back to the floor if it's not there already. Bend your your left knee and take your right hand and see about finding your foot. And just like we did before, kick the foot into the hand a little bit here. Lift the toes nice and high. Breathe. And then gently release it. Step way back to your lunge. Walk the hands back around. I'm going to move to the second side. So turning your toes toward the back of the mat, lunging here. And again, make it wide enough. Drop the back knee if you need. Sweep the legs toward each other, climb up on the thigh. Moving into this warrior one variation. Arms do whatever the arms do. Releasing the hands back to the floor. Hop the back toes in, lifting the leg away from the floor when you're ready. And it doesn't matter how high it is, but we don't want to go any higher than the hip. Right? Keeping the hips square, climbing up, maybe. Flying the arms. Just in line with that back leg. And then adding in, taking the right hand to the floor, bending the knee and finding the foot back there. Releasing what you got, step way back into that lunge. And then back to the middle of the stretch. Letting yourself just hang here. So toes point forward, maybe grab opposite elbow and just let your upper body release. Take the hands back to the mat, walk around toward your right foot, lunging, and then back to down dog. Dropping down to the knees, give yourself another child's pose. From our child's pose, we're going to bring ourselves up onto all fours. And then taking the right hand, leave it underneath here, coming down to either the right elbow, right in the middle of your mat, or extending the arm further and dropping down to the right shoulder. So make sure that you don't feel like you're falling forward or falling back, right in the middle. Adding into the twist if that's you here. So pressing more into the right arm, more into the left hand, and rotating the belly around. Okay? Do what you want with the twist, but we're gonna add in a little bit here. A little bit of that balance and quad stretch. So take the left foot and step it back. So the knees away from the mat. Lift the toes away from the floor. See, then, if you can release the left hand from the floor, bend the left knee and find your foot here. Sometimes you fall out of this, right? But you're close to the floor, so hopefully it's all good. Pressing the foot into the hands, maybe opening the knee more toward the ceiling. Gently release what you got. Make your way back to all fours. And then we'll take the second side. Right? So just a little bit of fun. Again, if you fall out of it, so no one's there to watch. Take the left hand, slide it under. either your elbow or the shoulder to the floor. You decide how big to make that twist. So pressing into the floor more or less. Adding in your balance piece. And maybe see if you can lift the right hand and find the right foot. Focusing on your breath. And gently releasing much down or falling on it. Make your way back to that on all fours. And then opening up the knees, sitting back into a child's pose here. So with the wide open knees, you can support the belly if you need to with a block or a blanket would probably be a little more comfortable. Or you can sink really deep into your hips. A big stretch there. So one more goofy thing here. We're going to make our way into a down dog again. And just like we did earlier, go ahead and lift the right leg, bend at the knee, open the knee toward the ceiling. And then here, you're going to have to lift your right hand up off the floor in a second. Take that right foot and step it to the floor behind you. Open the chest toward the ceiling a little bit. Maybe extend the right arm toward the ceiling. You can have your left leg straight or bent. I like to step on my right toes. And then make your way back to your down dog. Again, just for fun. So, same thing on the second side. Lift the left leg. Open the hip, bend at the knee. Find the floor behind you. And then open toward the ceiling here. Back to down dog. And then one more time, into child's pose. Wide knees or close together, whatever makes you happy here. We're going to kind of sit up on the heels. And we're going to change this one up just a little bit. So come into a wide knee, all fours. Wide as you can. Bring your toes to touch back there and keep them on the floor, your big toes. From here, walk your hands forward and see about lowering down toward your belly. And maybe you can't go all the way down. Watch that the knees, the toes stay together and on the floor. That's the trick. So wider or more narrow, listen to your body. And then we're going to make our way back up again. Bring the knees in. Back to your child's pose. So we need to sit up on the heels again. So just like when we started, we're not going to be here terribly long, and we are just stretching our shoulders. So if you wanted to be on the bottom to stretch your shoulders, that's totally fine. So the options to be up here are knees in line with the ankles, sitting on your heels-ish. Yeah, that might be good. Maybe you take that trusty block, open up your feet and knees just enough to still be parallel to each other, and having the ankles on the outsides, heels, whatever, on the outsides of your hips here. And then you can prop up on the block. Or because we've done so much of this and your body is pretty warm, maybe you don't need a block and your butt comes somewhere near the floor. So just check it out and see, see where you are. How far is the floor away from your butt? It's just an observation. It doesn't mean anything. So from here, let's go ahead and take the right arm out with the elbow bent, fingers pointing toward the ceiling. Bring that arm in. Take the left arm underneath it. Leave your hand between the face and forearm, and then try and catch your fingers or your palm or whatever in there. Relax into your shoulders. You can lift your elbows for more sensation. You can change where your hands are, further or closer to your face. Releasing that, roll out your shoulders. And then the same thing on the second side. So the left arm out, bring it in front, right arm under, between, catching the fingers or palm or not, right? Just holding. That's where you are. Relax your shoulders, lifting the elbows. Releasing the arms around, roll them around a little bit. Release the legs, take them out in front. Take your time. Sometimes they feel stuck. So stretch those legs out nice and long, bounce them around a little bit, vibrate your feet, whatever works. And then just making sure that you are upright on your pelvis. Let's extend the arms. Hinge forward into your fold. And just be aware of how different your fold is, whether it's deeper or just more comfortable. Maybe you can draw your shoulders together on your back a little bit more, avoiding rounding the back so much. Every little adjustment, right? Even if it's teeny. You can only touch your knees, but your spine is straight. Let's take just a couple more breaths. And then we'll inhale, coming back up again. Release the arms. Let's bring the soles of the feet together. And we're going to roll back in a second, so make sure you have the mat behind you. Heels in toward the groin, sitting up nice and tall here. Using the elbows of the inner thighs, we're going to hinge forward. Think belly button to heels. And then we'll hinge back up again. Keep hanging on to those ankles, lean back just enough to balance. And then go ahead and round through the spine. Drop on down to your back. Keep the soles of the feet together and let them come to the floor. Relax your legs, your belly. Drawing the knees back together. Let's pull the knees in toward the chest. And just let yourself rock a little bit here. Keeping the knees drawn into the chest, we'll go ahead and open the arms out into a T position. If you need a different variation of this final twist, absolutely take it. Otherwise, just let your legs fall over to the right. And relax them to the side. feel like you need a different variation of the twist, maybe take the legs straight. We worked pretty good into those hamstrings. Taking just a couple more breaths over here. And then making your way back up to center. Take your legs over to the left. And again, here, just relax the legs. And you might need something different over here, or maybe not. Another big breath here. Gently make our way back up to center again. Squeeze those knees in, rock a little bit. And then hug them in as tight as you can get, pulling your forehead towards your knees. Releasing into a full body stretch. And then release your stretch and find Shavasana. So legs straight, feet flat, knees open, seated meditation, wherever it's going to be. And then just let go. Release the muscles, release your breath. Releasing any random thought that wanders in to try and steal you away from this place. Allowing yourself a few minutes to simply be and rest. Slowly draw in a deep, cleansing breath. And then let that go. Just doing small movements to your body first. And when you're ready, slowly making your way back up to seated. Sitting well. And bringing your palms to touch. Namaste. Yoga. Mm-hmm. I didn't see you there earlier, Ty. I forgot last week. So hopefully no unforeseen craziness is coming next week. It's Easter, but Saturday should be okay. And then the following 2 weeks, I'm not here. So we'll just have to figure something else out. Right? I'll post something. Have a good weekend. Hopefully it's pretty where you are too. Okay? And we will see you next week. Remember to holler if you have any questions or whatever. Thanks.